You are listening to the NPZ Law Firm Show. Immigration woes, visa serve nos. US and Canadian immigration and nationality lawyers who speak your language.
Welcome back. I'm Vijaya, understanding immigration law and what it means for you with the lawyers from the NPZ Law Group, a full-service immigration and nationality firm right here in New York, New Jersey, Indiana, India, and Canada. And come November, they are, of course, headed on to India to help folks there on US and Canadian immigration matters. And Ludka Zimovchek is NPZ's law partner and managing attorney. Hello, Ludka.
Hi, Vijaya. How are you doing?
Doing very well, Ludka. Thank you so much for joining. And I wanted to ask you what the requirements are for a company to sponsor an H-1B visa holder or a green card.
Thank you for this question. It's really simple, but somehow we get all these questions from potential applicants.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the H-1B. There are no real requirements. Any U.S. organization can petition for H-1B, so whether it's a small company, it's a mid-size or large organization. It could be even startup company, and this is the question we get all the time. We have done a lot of H-1Bs with companies that just started, so there is nothing in the law or regulations that would say how many employees does the company have or what's the revenue. In fact, we are not even submitting tax returns, generally speaking, for H-1B. The key here is that the company has work for the potential employee or beneficiary. So the government, especially with the startup organization, they like to question availability of work because obviously the company has to show they have sufficient work for the full 3 years or, shorter period of time, whatever the petitioner is requesting.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about the green card. It's a little bit different with the green card. Again, any organization can sponsor. It doesn't matter what size. However, here, especially in the I-140 stage, we do have to show financial ability of the company to pay the prevailing wage, the salary.
Yeah.
So, of course, one thing that is super important, and, even before we start the green card case, is to look at the financial documents. So we would typically request to see and review tax returns. That's very important because especially in the labor certification, there could be a situation that you go through the entire process, you spend money, effort, and time on the application. And once we get to the second stage, which is the I-140 petition, if the petitioner doesn't have financial ability, then of course the application will fail.
Mm-hmm.
So since green card process is prospective in nature, we may have applicants or clients or whoever that is not working for the organization yet, because if they are, they would be getting W-2. So it's a little bit easier. But if they are not working yet for the organization, an organization is sponsoring them, it is very important, to look at tax returns. Now, a huge mistake or error that we see is, we have to be looking at the net income. So for the companies that are showing loss, it may be a problem. And then we would be looking at potentially at assets. The worst case scenario, we go to bank statements, profit and loss statements. So there has to be a detailed analysis, but I would highly recommend to do that even before starting the green card process. So otherwise, there is no other requirement. As I mentioned, it could be small organization, it could be big. Of course, it's always easier if it's more established, bigger organization, but it could be new organization. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a bona fide job offer, whether it's H-1B or green card. And, if they have that financial ability that I mentioned. But other than that, any organization.
So good to know, from the perspective of the company, big or small doesn't matter. And
Yes.
Thank you for, taking us through that, Ludka, much appreciated. So providing counsel to companies and individuals worldwide on complex US and Canadian immigration and nationality law issues, that's NPZ Law Group for you, and they're just a phone call away. Call them today and mention Mirchi for a special discount. You can call them at 201-670-0006 or log on to visaserve.com. And of course, it's time to say a big